Hey everybody, it's Bob blah blah, and today I want to talk about something near and dear to my heart, and that is Call of Duty 4. Call of Duty 4 is the game that brought me into the Call of Duty universe. I had basically not been gaming for about 8 or 9, well, probably about 8 years, and then I popped in Call of Duty 4 and I was hooked. The insane adrenaline you get from playing this game, especially 3-4 years ago, just running around constantly killing people. Man, it was so much fun. What I want to talk about today is why I think it's the greatest Call of Duty ever and why I think it always will be. Now, some of you are going to get your panties in a bunch when I say this. Listen, this is just my opinion. If you don't agree, that's fine. We're all entitled to our opinion. But just hear me out on why I think it's the greatest and why I think it always will be. And it comes down to a couple simple things that I don't think can change. And that's why I say always will be. I don't believe Call of Duty will ever get back to what made it great, and I'm going to explain what that is. There's two really simple things. So first is gameplay. We popped Call of Duty 4 in the other day. I played for 3 hours. It was the most fun I've had playing Call of Duty in a long time because you could jump in a game of team deathmatch and people actually ran around and they weren't a bunch of ghost bitches sitting in the corner. Now, that's not a product of the people playing, it's a product of the game created. Now, you just see that death? That was the only death in my game, in this whole game, even though I run around the whole time. Now, the hit detection's amazing, there's a lot of little things that are amazing, the maps are great, they don't allow for a lot of camping. There's a lot of little things that make this game better, but I'm going to talk about the main thing in 1 second that makes this game better. But the first point, and this is probably the second most important thing, is stopping power and UAV jammer. Because of stopping power, people don't use UAV jammer very much. Okay, does that make sense? Now, we've talked about this a lot. I know I beat it like a dead horse. Ghost in itself isn't overpowered. It doesn't really make anyone invincible. All it does is slow down the game, because if you can hide when a UAV's up, you can hide in the corner as long as you want and never have to worry about anything. Not having stopping power to balance that is everything. Okay? And so in this game, you'll see this. Nobody, not a single player is using UAV jammer. You know how much action that means? That means you're going to play a whole game of team deathmatch and no one's going to camp. And you're going to be able to run around the map the whole time and it's going to be fun. And that's what made, in my opinion at least, that's why people fell in love with Call of Duty, is because it was non-stop action. Whereas if you pop in Black Ops today, and I'm not a Black Ops hater, I actually do play a lot of Black Ops. But it's slow. TDM is, to me, it's unplayable. I play mostly Domination. I can't play TDM on Black Ops because it's pretty much a bunch of ghost guys camping around in corners, and it's almost unplayable. But let me get to the next point, okay? So I already mentioned ghost stopping power, but everyone knows that. Everyone knows my opinion on that, and the opinion of most good players is that ghost needs to be balanced. But let me get to why COD 4 is the greatest and always will be, and why it won't ever be fixed. It's because the kill streaks were smaller and they stacked, okay? And here's why I think that won't ever be fixed. I can't see Infinity Ward or whoever runs the next game going backwards. I can't see them coming out with the next game and saying, listen, we're going back to kill streaks at just 3, 5, and 7 and no controllable kill streaks. No, it's not going to happen. But no one had to camp on this game, or very few players, because anyone, who even decent players, could run around and occasionally get a 5 kill streak. Okay? And when you got your 5 kill streak, they stacked. So then you could get your helicopter. So you could play aggressively and still get your kill streaks. Also, by not having super overpowered kill streaks, your game didn't end if you died, so you didn't have to rage when you didn't get that kill streak. Okay, in a modern game of Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops, you can camp in a quarter for a whole game, get a huge overpowered kill streak, and possibly win a game of TDM even though you never moved. Should a game really reward that kind of gameplay? I don't think so. I think the big kill streaks, as much as I love them, I love getting into a big chopper gunner and just raping face. How fun is that? I'll admit, it's really fun to do that. However, I really believe that that is what slowed down the game. It even slowed down Modern Warfare 2. Now, at least in Modern Warfare 2, you could stack your kill streaks, so you could still run around and get some big kill streaks. But in Black Ops, because they don't have stacking kill streaks, it's extremely difficult to do that, so most people don't. They camp, they play super defensive, and it leads to a really, really boring game. And I just can't see Call of Duty ever fixing this problem, because the bottom line is, game designers, they want to move forward, and I can't see them wanting to put out the next game and all of a sudden go back to their roots with Call of Duty 4. I wish they would. Now, I know they might put in game modes, like sometimes they'll put in traditional game modes, but not enough people play that to keep it fun and competitive. It's the bottom line is people on YouTube, they're just going to see the biggest kill streaks. So at the end of the day, I have a bad feeling the next game is going to be a lot like Black Ops. There's going to be a lot of defensive play, a lot of defensive camping style play to get those big kill streaks, because I'll admit they're fun. I have fun when I get a big chopper gunner, but the rest of the time it's boring because it leads to boring gameplay when you have everyone camping around for big kill streaks. So, guys, this is just my opinion. If you don't agree, that's fine, and I'm cool with that. Leave your notes in the comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think the best Call of Duty is, and tell me what your reasoning is. I would love to hear your opinions. Maybe one of you guys can change my mind, but for me, Call of Duty 4 is the greatest, and it probably always will be. I sincerely hope they prove me wrong. And that is it, guys. And until next time, it's blah, blah, blah signing out. Take it easy, fellas.